in Week 1. The Colts lost their first matchup against the Jaguars. Can Jacksonville sweep the series? Find out next on Madden Football.
We are 15 miles due west of the Atlantic, nestled in downtown Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
About ready to get us going. And off we go from Jacksonville. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Here's a Florida native from up near Pensacola. It's Michael Carter. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. These two teams, they met earlier in the year in Jacksonville with the Jags coming out on top. So a win here in Jacksonville would give them the season series. From the 30 on second down, Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And no room to maneuver there. Give him
in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visiting Jaguars who won that ball game, so they'll look to make it a clean sweep here at home in Jacksonville. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. This defense for the Colts, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. 3rd and 2, Fields. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Now the man from Kentucky, this is Lynn Bowden. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Matt Breida, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? What he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing. Short one here, complete to the tight end. This defense for the Jags, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield, but all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Waiting for it back deep, Antonio Callaway. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Taken right around the 44. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Fields now to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and it'll bring up third down.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just scared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They'll get this complete to his running back, Bowden. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third. On first down, Dobbins trying to run inside, but nothing there. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. They'll run with Dobbins. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On second and goal, Fields. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And the Colts coming out now. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Oh, he shifts past him. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Carter will try to right side. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
It'll be a gain of 9, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football, as they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Hurts gets this to his standout receiver, Thomas. He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. That's caught by Penny. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put in.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 17-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ball game. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
They'll look to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Quentin Williams gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal.
Hurts fumbles it.
Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over at the sideline. There's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it. Field goal time. So 3 during a point to drive. You're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, really well.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's Fields. He finds his man, complete. That's McKinney. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Ronnie Harrison that time, able to make the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Touchdown! Evan Ingram with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they had scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson.
And a less than desirable return as he's out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out.
And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Well, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he finds Penny. And some room to roam now. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's got his target. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead.
Man, he just ran a terrific run.
Extra point. Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half receptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick. The big shot downfield. Touchdown, Jaguars!
And the Jags are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. For Jerry Jr., this is why he was a first-round pick back in 2020. That sets him apart.
And plenty to press. He has the ability to really make you pay, and he does right there, picking up excellent real estate after the catch.
And the next-gen stats show us the tale of how much yardage he was able to tack on after the catch. Here's Bass now for the extra point.
And the lead is up to 18 now. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. On the return, Tyron Johnson.
And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. From the 22, Hurts. Dancing to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Oh, the return is Callaway. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. To throw again on second down. Fields. It's a first down and more for Dobbins. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Now Fields. Completes it to Evan Ingram. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, are a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. That extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The kick by Bass is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And no reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start things out in the AFC South. Tennessee at home taking on Houston. And it's the Texans who are out in front. Deontay Johnson, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll take the trip north to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucs. A.J. Dillon, over 100 yards on the ground with 3 touchdown runs. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And that one's gone to the half with the visiting Bears on top. The Bears trying to finish that one off and claim victory. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And despite the fact that they're looking up at a double-digit deficit at halftime, they were able to move the football through the air in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half. Both these teams running through their final adjustments before they head out of the locker room. We're just about set for the second half. And to bring it your way, let's go back upstate to Jacksonville. And Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
They'll run it here with Bowden. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the first down. Running out of the gun here, Breida. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On the ground, it's Bowden. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. From the gun, here's Fields. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. He's able to knock that one away.
The kick by Bass is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll have this all the way out to the 50-yard line. Excellent field position.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. A gain of 6 there on first. Penny. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Now, how about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offense coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So just enough juice to get the 3, and I think that wind at the back helped a little bit there.
Certainly did, and to me that tells me that head coach knows his kicker and realized the wind was at his back. That was probably the outer limits of what he could make, and he knew the wind might be able to aid him and get that ball over the crossbar, and it did.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Play action. It's Fields.
Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
42 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Fields going to hold on to it.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Fournette.
And he'll take this one in for a Giants touchdown.
Leonard Fournette.
His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense can miss too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
Here comes Johnson on the return. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again.
And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And a nice gain of 21 yards. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now back to throw.
Hurts fumbles it.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Jags grab it. Past the 20. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. Huge play by the defense. Not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead will slow by 1 more. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Take it in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. The tackler.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Bass on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Johnson now returning. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Well, the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
To throw again on second down, Hurts. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Hurts to throw. Looking long for Thomas. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been up. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Nicole Hardman with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the first turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
You had fun with this one, partner?
Yeah, man, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. The extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Returning it, Johnson. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score.
And that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You force the fumble, But when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Dean Lowry picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And you can say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact, and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off at the 24. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Off play action. Fields sliding out of the pocket. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. They'll run the screen with Bowden. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Fields. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Here's Fields. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Now here's Johnson. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 13. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. Gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Johnson now to return it.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Jags grab it. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. And that one is his 2nd fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
That's caught left side by Hardman. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Back to throw. Fields to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal.
They snap it to Fields.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Colts defense comes up with a goal line stand. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
And it's intercepted in the end zone. Snags it for the pick. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
And now onto the field comes the Jags offense. They'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right.
And the Jags are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
Here comes Johnson on the return.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on.
And Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground.
And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
2nd and 16.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys are just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Jaguars, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they fall to defeat here, and they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end.